Yo, 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 what's good, everyone? It's your boy GD, the sports actor, and we're just going to get right into it. So, the New York Giants suffered a bad loss against the Philadelphia Eagles, a division rival. New York Giants lost this game 28-3. And I'm not going to lie, folks. I mean, this was a hard pill to swallow. Not only was this a hard pill to swallow because, as I stated before, this was a divisional game. This was a hard pill to swallow for the fact that Saquon came back home and just ran all over. And not until the third quarter, might I say. This game has nothing to do with the defense. Week after week, the defense continues to show that they're at practice. They're looking at the tape. They're at the drawing board. They're doing everything that they need to do to prepare week after week after week. The only part where the New York Giants are lacking is the offense. The offense is horrible. The offense is so bad. And because the offense is so bad, it makes the defense, it makes the whole team rather, terrible. From top to bottom, it makes the whole team terrible. And, I mean, most of this is partially due to, the front office and the decisions to sign Daniel Jones and prioritize him as the face of the New York Giants rather than keeping Saquon, keeping Xavier McKinney, and doing the necessary things that is needed to hold the locker room together. Because I feel like right now the locker room is falling apart. I feel like the locker room is falling apart because we're not winning games and we're losing in such a bad fashion. And you can attribute it to, many things because football is a team game, but you can also put more of a blame on something particular. I truly believe that. It's like you get into a car accident, your tire blows or something. You find the reason as to why. You don't just stop at, the tire just blew entirely, so that just messed up the car, and that's why I got into a car accident. Was there a nail? Was the tires popped before? Did you hit something maybe aggressively to lead to that? There's always something that causes something to happen. Cause and effect. And right now, most of the reason as to why we're not doing well is because we can't do anything on third down. And when it comes down to who's holding the ball the most, whose job it is to spread the ball out so that the other guys can go make plays, it comes back to the quarterback. It will always come back to the quarterback. As they say, the quarterback is the most important position on the field, right? The quarterback is the highest paid player on the team, right? So the responsibility comes to the QB the most, and then the head coach. But the QB has to be elite. The QB has to be better. The QB has to make everyone around him better, and that's just part of the job. That's just part of being held at the quarterback position. I mean, when everyone's a little kid growing up, you always want to play QB because you get to hold the ball the most. It's either that or the running back. I don't understand as to why we continue to act like the reason for our failures is through the lack of production we've been getting or haven't been getting from our offense. I mean, Daniel Jones has not thrown a touchdown pass in about 658 days. Should I say that again? On this day, the day that I'm filming this videos, Daniel Jones has not thrown a touchdown pass in 658 days. That's almost 2 calendar years. Almost 2 years and you haven't thrown a touchdown pass, but you're, second highest paid player currently sitting right now, or at least top 5. That doesn't make any sense to me. So, as I stated, top 5 highest paid player. And I'd have to look at the contracts since contracts seem to go up every year, even though injuries seem to be going up even higher than the contracts. So guys are just getting paid to sit. But Daniel Jones, as I said, 658 days, hasn't thrown a touchdown, can't throw farther than 15 yards, check downs, screens, nothing 20 plus yards really getting completed at all. It's abysmal. It's abysmal. Like, it's 28-3 against a division rival. I don't understand it. I mean, our offense totaled 119 yards. Saquon Barkley, by the way, had, I believe, 178 or 180 yards. The Giants' offense totaled 119 yards. Like, I don't get it. 119 yards, 10 first downs. We had 43 net passing yards. It's just, you go down the list, and we were breaking, the history books, but with bad stats, not good ones. Daniel Jones and Drew Lock were sacked about 8 times this season, which was the highest for the season. The only highest was 5 sacks that was allowed against the Minnesota Vikings. We punted the ball 11 times. I mean, we can go toe for toe, tack for tack, bad fact after bad fact. But the matter of the fact is, the biggest fact that we can all agree to is that this New York Giants offense is just horrible. And why I hate it so much is that you can start seeing it seep into other parts of this team. A Deonte Banks inability to tackle a Jalen Hurts when he's right in front of you. Right in front of you. And you do it in front of your DB coach as well. Bad luck. You can see it in third and fourth quarter when the defense was just exhausted because they were just on the field for so long. This is what happened last season. They were on the field for so long that the score looks worse than it does because the offense just goes 3 and out so fast. And the defense is right back on the field. And then, of course, you're going to get gassed, and that's how you get 28 points at the end. The defense played amazing the first half, played amazing into the third quarter. It wasn't until late into the third, middle of the third, where things started to fall apart. Our starters started to get taken out because why would you put them through that? Why would you put them through that at home against a division team just getting just abused? And so, the score says 28-3, but the defense played well. And it's just because the offense cannot get anything going. And the offensive line looked horrible. I know we lost Andrew Thomas, and Izudu is playing that left tackle position, but the fall off from when Andrew Thomas comes out the game is horrible. Oh my gosh. Jermaine Illuminor just allowed for Daniel Jones to be mauled. Greg Van Roten to be mauled. JMS to be mauled. And if it's a thing where maybe you guys don't like Daniel Jones, or maybe you guys are trying to get him injured, I don't know what's going on, if he's going to be splitting a little bit of that contract pie. But there was no blocking at all. And this is after 6 weeks of decent blocking. 5 weeks if you don't want to count that Vikings game. I mean, it's not like the offensive line hadn't been playing well, but this game, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But we just looked horrible. You have McLeod covering A.J. Brown. Why? What decision making came into that where Nick McLeod is the one covering A.J. Brown and just gets cooked? I mean, Deonte Banks at least might have stuck with him and not allowed that touchdown. That just Jalen Hurts just about to get tackled to third down. We need this here. And all of a sudden, he just fakes you out like he's coming back in because he was doing that the whole time and does a quick fake out and just gone. Jalen Hurts sees it, and at the last minute before a sack, heaves it up, and A.J. Brown's there to make the play. Touchdown. And then the name that you see chasing right behind him is McLeod. And you're just like, what? Why was he on him in the first place? Where's Banks? And so, right now we're sitting at 2-5, 0-4 at home. And it just sucks to see that already right now. It's basically time to go look at the drawing board, and not the drawing board for a game plan, the drawing board to see who we're going to be giving up at the at the trade deadline, the drawing board to see who we're going to be drafting and what positions are we going to prioritize. And that's what I would be looking at right now. I mean, realistically, I don't see this season turning around from a 2-5. We're 0-3 against our division rivals. I don't see where the turnaround comes into play. I mean, and I'm one of the most optimistic Giant fans that are out there. I'm always fighting for this team. I'm always rooting for this team. You know, I think that we can still win against the Steelers. But it's just like, can we compound on these wins? Can we stack these wins together? No, I'm not confident in that. We'll win games that keeps us just far enough from being top 3 in the draft process, but we're not going to do anything great to get us over the hump and make playoff pushes. That's just a fact of the matter. That's just a reality of what's going on right now with the New York Giants. So, you know, I could get into more stats, more this and that about who did well and who didn't, but at the end of the day, the defense played amazing and the offense stinks. To the point where you're just making it frustrating for the rookies that are coming in, playing their hearts out, and they have to answer to the media, especially a ruthless media when it comes to the New York market. And that's just what it is, because it's a big market. You're getting paid a lot. And the city would literally put you, make you walk on water, would raise you above the clouds if we were just winning. Or if we were even close. And that's not it. We're at the bottom of the barrel. And it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. And then now we're suffering. Andrew Thomas is out. You have Brian Burns, who I'm worried about because we continue to put him out there even though he's suffering a groin issue and playing well off of that groin issue. He's playing through it and playing remarkable football, and yet we're not producing any W's. Same with Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence looks like he's going to get Defensive Player of the Year and probably leave out of here with maybe 20-plus sacks. But like he said, what does that even matter if our team's losing? It just doesn't feel good. I mean, you'd like to be able to get these accolades, get the success while continuing to win for your team, for your organization, and that's just not happening. And so the defense is playing amazingly. The offense sucks. Andrew Thomas is out. Jalen Hyatt just, after a throw finally gets thrown his way, ball touches his hands. It's a catch that he should have made. I'm not going to say anything about it, that it should have been put in a better position. No, you're a wide receiver who gets paid to go out there and catch the ball. You had space. You're wide open. The ball hits your gloves, the expensive, nice gloves that you have, and you can't reel it in, and then you end up hurting your ribs, injury. Maybe that's why Jalen Hyatt isn't into play, because he's soft. He can't separate from any corner in the league. He's not out there running any routes that are incredible, not even using his speed like Xavier Worthy to try to beat some people over the top by just speed. None of that. None of it. And so it's annoying. It really is annoying. Shout out the Rooks. The Rooks are playing their heart out. Quiet day from Malik Neighbors, but I looked at some tape on X, and he was open. He was open many times. He was pointing to other receivers like Slay, who was open, and balls were just getting thrown behind receivers, or people were just not on the same page when it came to running routes. And it's just like, what are we doing week after week? Probably sulking in the fact that there are no W's. But Brian Daboll wants to push this week past and, move forward and get ready for the next week. I don't see any of that happening. And so I really do hope that, as we continue to fight and figure this team out and figure out ourselves and our identity, that we also start to be realistic. Daniel Jones might need to get sat sooner than the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter when there's no chance to get a spark. Maybe he sits in the second quarter and comes back after Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito gives us a lead. That could also be a possibility. But just because you sit him down doesn't mean that, oh, it's the end of the world. It means that you're trying to look for something better sooner. I mean, the Steelers have the competent, ability to understand that we have two QBs. Yeah, we've been winning some games with Justin Fields, but why wouldn't we try out the other guy who's a proven vet too? Who's won a Super Bowl? Why don't we throw him in there and see what's up? Maybe we'll have two QBs and get everybody fresh. And they won a game because of it. But we want to continue to ride the Daniel Jones ride without attaching any of the other pieces behind him to maybe help give him a spark and not continue to be in the same rut, or to throw the defense off and not have them continue to just game plan against Daniel Jones and what Daniel Jones is going to do and what they know Daniel Jones is going to do. Switch it up. Switch it, flip it, reverse it, tap it, pull it, beat it. You know the game. Come on, man. Let's do something. Something else than what we've been doing. And so, we're probably not going to be getting a lot of pieces out of the trade deadline. If we do, like I said, it's time to trade Slay. I don't have time for the Butterfinger hands anymore, and Slayton's just not a big enough target. We have Malik Neighbors, who we need to start building around and getting pieces to help him out. And Darius Slayton is a wide receiver 3. And we already have a wide receiver 3. And his name is Wan'Dale Robinson. Because after we find another piece, like a T. Higgins, or another piece maybe through the draft, then we can start talking about, we can start talking about other things. But we don't have another piece to make this wide receiver core elite. We thought we did. A lot of these guys are fast. They just don't have the aggressiveness or the capable hands to be able to pull, these balls in. The only person that's out there really balling is the same person who still has the highest receiving yards after missing 2 weeks of football, and that's Malik Neighbors. Still holding that record for the Giants because he's him. He's that guy. And so I don't want to see his confidence being deflated. I don't want to see his energy, coming down and his lack of effort not showing because he's just tired of losing. And losing can become a thing that could literally destroy a player's confidence and how they may assess the game week after week. So we got to do better, and I really do hope that we can at least look competitive against the Steelers. As I said before, I really do think that because of our defense, we have a chance for sure, but the offense really isn't showing me anything at all to believe that, they have the qualities and what it takes to win any of these games. I mean, even when it came down to just running, we just barely even ran the ball to try to get anything going. And you want to send a spark at the end of the third by throwing in Drew Lock? Why not send a spark by trying to run the ball, even if you ran it 3 times? The passing wasn't working. It wasn't there. Open it up by running the ball. You have a two-headed monster between Tyron Tracy and Devin Singletary. Make something happen. Go back to the screens. Run the same play that's working 1,000 times. At this point, I don't care. But we do have to make something generate. We got to get something churning. The play calling has to be improved, and it has to be consistent week after week, just as the play, style should be through a few players. Not everyone needs to shoulder the blame of what's going on right now with the New York Giants. It's a few people, a few pieces, or lack thereof, that's causing the losses. And until we look them in the face, until we address these things, it's going to continue to happen. And that's not what we want for this team. This Giants, team, this organization has a lot of fans. A lot of fans that continue to grind, continue to stick with this team and show that we rally behind this team. We really do. I mean, that's why we're so passionate, because we care. Because we want this team to be successful. We know the potential, and it's just not showing. So that's my spiel. As I said, next week on Monday night, another primetime game, we're going to be going up against the Steelers, who just happened to get a W, and they did it in a great fashion with offense and defense. And we got to get ready. We got to be ready. And so I hope we are. And thanks, guys, like I said, for continuing to watch. Thanks, Giants fans, for continuing to support the team and be there week after week. And it's not always going to be like this. That's for sure. I've seen 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime with these Giants. I've seen successful runs in the playoffs. I've seen nice winning seasons. And so I do know that we'll get it back. It's just a matter of holding out until that opportunity comes. So, appreciate you guys. Go like, go support, go comment, do what you do. And let's just get ready for another week of preparation as we look forward to facing the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right? Well, take care, guys. Have a good one. Peace.